Hi everyone, my name is Heidi. I'm the instructor for the required courses of management and managerial practice at International College. Today I'm going to have a quick briefing regarding to what we are going to talk about in the management class. Well, the management class in this IC required course, we divided into two sections. So we will have 2 hours of the theory class, which will contain two departments. So in this case, will be from like ITH or EM. Then we will follow with 1 hour of the practicum parts. We consider that as a lab that we would follow with what we teach in the previous 2 hours regarding to the management theories and what we talk about in the lecture parts with all the chapters that we cover in the issues, and then we would have either some case study or I will give you some practice that link to what we teach. For example, if we talk about some decision making theory, then I'll give you a scenario how you make a decision. Either it's an individual decision or it's a group decision. Okay, so the class will be fun in the way that not just we talk about theory, we talk about the textbook. We have some management theories that cover in the class. Then the following practicum parts, we will let you practice how you apply what you learn from the class to the real business. So the management function we will be talking about, uh, actually there are four functions in management, which includes planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So from the lecture we talk about, we always start with the definition. Definition is important, and then we talk about the concept, the perspective, and then I also would bring some real cases. Like it's not just limited to the local business. We'll talk about some international companies like Costco or Carrefour, or some famous, well-known American-based company like Tesla, Google, those kind of big companies as a case that we study. Starbucks is always a good case that we will mention in the management class, as a lot of business school use them as a good example, analyzing their strategies. So we will do that as well. And then most of the case we will relate it to these four management functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. And then this is a process, for the management. The internal goal of the four functions that management serve, we want to achieve the goals or the mission that organization set up earlier. Okay, so all the functions are actually serving the purpose of achieving the organization goal. Can be a very short-term goal, like how to increase the sales in a quarter, or it can be a long-term goal, like our company going for international business. It can go to the global market, and in that case, we will have a longer plan for the strategies. And then we will be talking about some changes that managers are facing today, like not just COVID-19 is affecting our daily business. Even without COVID-19, the business today are facing a lot of changes compared with before, like the change of technology. So with the AI, with a lot of new app, with a smartphone, we are actually changing somehow our business model in a way that customers' behavior has been changed. So we need to modify the business model a little bit. So we add more elements. Especially in the technology parts. We also talk about the ethical decision that the manager need to make, because now a lot of information, is so transparent and it passed to the customer so fast. Whether your company is doing the ethical decision was spread out so fast. So for example, like Marriott hotels, they've been doing a lot of things regarding to ethical decision, for example, social responsibilities, or they do some like green or environmental friendly strategies. Those things like that might not directly involve with the profit they are making, but they are showing the society they are doing something ethical. And of course, in today's business, we are more competitive. We have more business, and a lot of companies they go globalized. So now you are competing not just with the local cooperation, you are competing with the global companies as well. And then the last change we will be talking about is some issues that we are facing nowadays, the changing of security threats. Either it can be a pandemic like COVID-19, or it can be crisis like uh, a lot of attack, like terrorist attack in Middle East, or 911, things like that. So those are the security threats that some companies are facing now. And then again, before it's really affecting the business in a big way, companies need to be prepared for that. And then we're talking about the decision making process. We will always start with some theory base, and then we will give some examples. In this case, I'll also talk about the individual decision making and group decision making, and then we will analyze how effective and how efficient they are. There are differences between these two. The last part we will be talking about in the class is we will have some strategic plan. I would talk about some tools that we use for business analysis. For example, we would talk about SWOT analysis and some KGB model, and like five factor, analysis. We're talking about the suppliers, your customers, what's your bargaining power. We will analyze external analysis, including opportunities, the threats, and also internal analysis, including strength and weakness. So we will cover some tools for you to analyze the business. So management class, you would realize it's actually happening in your daily life. Maybe you never pay attention to those small details, but even in the school, you are part of the management already. You might join a student association, or even as small as a classroom setting. We always have a TA who can be a leader, or I as a professor, I can be acting like a leader or the manager for the class. So this class we will use a lot of examples to help you to understand what's the concept of management, and look forward to have you in the class.